Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's episode is day 3 of my 5 days of foundation, and we're going to be talking about the Chanel Le Beige Sheer Healthy Glow Moisturizing Tint with an SPF 30. This is brand new to the Chanel Le Beige line. So if you're interested in seeing me apply it, do a wear test, do a check-in, give you my final thoughts at the end of the day, then just keep on watching. So I purchased this foundation from Nordstrom. It was $40 and it comes in, I think, 6 different shades, at least from what I could see on the display. And so I purchased shade Light. I tried light and I think there was like a light medium. The light medium was a little bit darker. I was, obviously, a little bit darker than light. And I was very tempted to get that, but the sales associate and I decided that this one was better. I don't know, I may live to regret that, but let's see. So this is what the bottle looks like. It has a CC's on the top. It is 1 fluid ounce, 30 mils, and the top just twists off, and then it has one of those kind of like pointy squeezer tops. I don't know what to call this. So here is the foundation on the back of my hand. It's not quite as runny as the Vitalumiere. It is a little bit thicker, and it seems to have a nice creamy texture. So I am going to try a couple different application techniques like I usually do. I'll try sponge and then I'll try a brush. Alright, so I've got my Sonia Kashuk sponge, and I'm going to go ahead and dot this on to the right side of my, is this the right? Yeah, the right side of my face. It has very faint fragrance, which is a relief. Chanel can sometimes go a little bit overboard with their fragrance, so I'm happy about that. This is supposed to be a very sheer coverage, kind of like a tinted SPF kind of situation, and that really appealed to me. You guys know that I really like a sheer tops, like a medium kind of coverage, so I was happy about that. It does say, I probably should have read this first, it does say apply with fingertips or foundation brush and blend gently. Well, we're going to see how it works with the sponge. I will also put up on the screen the active ingredients in terms of the SPF because I'm not that knowledgeable in terms of all the different SPFs and whether they're chemical or physical, all that kind of stuff. So there it is, one light layer with the sponge on this side. I think it is almost imperceptible. I think you can clearly see that my skin on this side, it does look a little bit even, it does look a little bit lighter, but I don't think it's actually camouflaged anything. You can still see the red around my nostrils here. You can still see the blemish on my chin over here. You can still see kind of the redness along my jawline here. So it is very light. So let's go ahead and apply it to this side of my face with a brush. I have the Hourglass. This is like the one that came out with their Vanish Stick Foundation. Okay, I'm taking a closer look here. I don't actually think that the brush, I was kind of really suspecting that the brush side was going to look a little bit heavier. The coverage was going to be a little bit heavier, but I don't really see that. I think the coverage is very similar between the two, between the brush and the sponge. This is really my kind of foundation for like an everyday look. I know most people really like at least something that's closer to medium coverage, but I like this. I feel like my skin just looks a little bit more even. It just looks a little like 10% more perfected versus like 50% or 100%. It just looks a little bit more even. I like the glow to this foundation. It has like a very nice healthy radiance to it. I don't look greasy or oily in any way. I just feel like I look really healthy. So I'm liking this. What I'm going to do is try to build it up a little bit just to see if we can get a heavier coverage. So I'm going to squeeze a little bit more out onto the back of my hand here. Work that in with the brush. I think it's definitely buildable. I definitely see a bit more coverage on this side now that I've added another layer. And I think it's blending in really nicely, both with the brush or the sponge. It just sort of blended right into my skin, which is really nice. I should probably mention that I didn't put any primer down or anything. All I've done is just wash my face and I've moisturized with my regular moisturizer. I will say with the extra layer on here, the finish is getting more and more radiant. So I don't know if you guys can see, but this side of my face, it looks a little bit shinier than this side of my face. There's a little bit more glow over here. All right, so far I'm really loving this tinted moisturizer. It is, one, a very good match for my skin tone. So if you have a similar skin tone to mine, I think light is a very good match. So far it's not oxidizing or doing anything weird. It's also not settling into any fine lines around my eyes. It's not emphasizing any texture in my problem areas. And I like the fact that it has SPF, but it's not looking like it has SPF. I don't see any sort of like weird like white cast veil over my skin, which is really nice. I love the very slight radiance that it's giving my skin, really, really healthy looking. So now that we're approaching the warmer months, I usually like to go for foundations that have a lighter coverage, that little bit more sheer, and I usually gravitate towards things like the Glossier Skin Tint. But this doesn't have an SPF in it, so I think Chanel's is a great option if you want an SPF in there. I also like the fact that this is buildable, that you can just stick with one layer if you really just want something sheer every day. For me, that's what I would do. I would just sort of put one layer on. So far I'm loving this. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my makeup off camera and I'll be right back. Hello, I am back. I thought I would do my lipstick with you because I'm actually using the brand new Chanel Le Beige Healthy Glow Lip Balm in Light. This is the box that it comes in. Here is the tube. It has the CCs on the top there. And this is very much in line with like the rest of the Le Beige line. It is a very, very sheer, pretty kind of peachy color. So here's the Healthy Glow Lip Balm on my lips. Again, the color is light and it's a nice peachy color. I feel like it just brightens up the entire face. So I really like that one. Very, very comfortable. It definitely feels like a balm, like you put on some lip balm. Really, really lovely. So again, another perfect item, I think, for the summertime, you know, when you're sitting by the pool or you're outside at the beach and your lips start to feel really kind of like dried out. This is, I think, going to be really, really lovely for that. But anyway, back to the foundation. So it's been about a half hour. I keep forgetting to talk about what time it is. So I started at about 8 o'clock this morning. So it's 8:30 right now. And so I should mention that I did not put any concealer on. I also did not put any powder. So I just have some cream bronzer. I'll list everything that I have on my face down below. Mostly, actually all Chanel products except for my eyebrows. So yeah, I just have some powder blush and powder highlighter, but I used a cream bronzer. I really wanted to see, again, how this foundation would do by itself without any help of powder, without any help of concealer. I really like to test the area around my eyes just to see how the foundation looks on its own. At my midday check-in, if I look way too oily and shiny, I will powder down. But for the moment, I think I look okay. I think I just have like a nice, again, a really nice healthy glow that I had when I put on the foundation initially. So at the moment, I'm really happy with it. Again, there's no funky behavior going on around my chin, on my forehead or anything. It's not really emphasizing lines. I mean, it's such a light coverage. It's most likely not going to do things like that. Emphasize lines, that is. This is incredibly smooth feeling. I really, really like it so far. So again, it's 8:30 in the morning. I will do a check-in around lunchtime and I will see you then. Hey guys, I'm back. It is actually like 2:45. I just got really busy and I was out running errands and just got caught up. So I meant to do a check-in closer to like 12 or 1, but it's 2:45. So I've had this makeup on since 8 o'clock this morning and I absolutely love it. We are close to the 7-hour mark. So I think even if I were to stop my review now, it would be pretty impressive. This foundation hasn't shifted. It hasn't clumped. It hasn't done anything weird at all. My skin looks, you know, radiant. It looks really healthy. If anything, just right here on my nose could probably use a little bit of powder, but considering I didn't powder or set down this foundation at all today, I think it's doing an amazing job at just sort of holding its own. And I think my skin looks really, really nice. I'm going to insert some pictures now where I just sort of take some really awful looking selfies, but just sort of close-ups of different parts of my face in front of my window, just to kind of give you an idea of some natural light. But you can see there that the coverage is very similar from this morning, that again, there isn't any sort of breaking up or texture isn't showing. I don't feel like it's kind of sinking into my fine lines at all. I am so impressed. The only thing I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to go ahead and powder just the end of my nose here, like the tip and around the nostrils with my Charlotte Tilbury. I'm just taking a brush and I'm just going to add a little bit there just to see the difference. So there, that's with a little bit of powdering. But I think the rest of my face looks really great. I am loving this foundation so far, and the SPF 30 really helped me out quite a bit. I was in the dog park again. I was at the dog park and I was just standing in the sun for like almost an hour, and it's a beautiful day, so I wasn't sweating too much, but the sun, I mean the sun here just beats down and my skin felt like it was staying pretty cool. So I'm so impressed with this. I will definitely be back probably around 5 or 6. So like in a couple of hours, just to kind of give you a final check-in and to give you my review and my final thoughts. So I will see you then. Hey guys, I'm back. It's about 5:30 in the afternoon. I've had this foundation on since 5, and I did my check-in at what, like 2:45. So it's been about almost 3 hours since my last check-in. I am still loving this foundation. I'm so pleased with this foundation, and I have to say I'm surprised. I don't know if I just didn't have high expectations for this particular foundation, or I'm trying to think back on my experience with Chanel foundations. I actually don't have that much. I've tried the Vital Lumiere, the Aqua, and that was fine. That was great. I didn't have any problems with that. The finish was a little bit more velvety than I liked, so I don't use it that often, but I really didn't have a problem with it. I don't think I've tried many other Chanel foundations, so maybe I just didn't have any expectations for this. And in any case, it's blown any expectations I've had of Chanel foundations out of the water. My skin just looks really, really healthy. Like, it just looks really nice. I don't know if I left this in my Sunday Riley video. As you guys know, if you watched day 1 of this foundation week, this 5 days of foundation, that foundation didn't work out for me for a number of reasons. Like, it showed texture and it was like, you know, kind of cakey, and it just, I don't know, it just didn't look right on my skin. But even in the areas where it did look okay in terms of the texture, it just didn't really like do anything for my face. It just didn't really kind of give my skin or my face any kind of life. And, you know, foundation, it doesn't necessarily do that. You know, you kind of add life back in as you add some products on. The foundation is really supposed to just sort of even out your complexion, and then you add blush and bronzer and contour and things like that to really kind of add life back to your complexion and your face and your skin. But with this tinted moisturizer, I feel like I didn't have to do that much. I felt like with just this on, that my face had plenty of life still in it. You know, it didn't take away too much of the life to kind of even out my skin tone. I thought I did a really nice job just sort of, you know, allowing my natural skin to come through, but still sort of evening out my complexion just enough so that I didn't look like I just woke up. So I don't have any concealer on, and if I didn't have any foundation on, you would see a lot of discoloration around my eyes. So this did enough to camouflage that, which is to me very, very impressive, especially for something with such light coverage. I am just really, really impressed. After powdering my nose, sometimes I feel like, you know, your oil is still going to come through, and then while it's mixing with the foundation and now the powder, while it may not break up the foundation, it may start to look a little bit cakey because, you know, you're starting to kind of like layer all these products on. Nothing funky is going on my nose. There's no texture emphasis on my forehead. I'm just really freaking loving this. This is probably going to be my go-to everyday foundation this summer. So that is it for this particular review. I hope you found this helpful. Definitely let me know if you have any questions down below in the comment section. Definitely tune in for tomorrow for day 4 of foundation week, my 5 days of foundation. And subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you in my next video.